and said to her, entice him and find out where his strength lies, and by what means we may overpower him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and every one of us will give you 1,100 pieces. Hallelujah. So, this was a time of the adversity, like the one we talked about, Proverbs 24:10. If you fainted in the time of adversity, so he didn't know, but he didn't know that his weakness is the one that is going to make him faint, in his time. So he's the one that went out with the leading the harlot. And trust me, because this Samson had the strength every time, he was strong and everybody knew about it and they were looking for him, but there is no way they would get him. Like how you've been. They've been looking for you. The devil is looking for any way to get you back to the old ways, but he's not getting you. But still, because you repented and transformed, right now there are many things, ideas coming to you, whatever you watch, whatever you see, whatever you think people you surround up to. So it's going to be so strategic to surround you around the things you really overcame, just to make sure that, that's the only point he knows about you, that if anything, you get any loophole, he gets any loophole, he can just, come in through using that. So because Samson, now this is a time, when it says, when he went to Gaza, he saw a harlot there. And then these people knew, the Gazites knew that Samson has come. They surrounded the place and lay in wait for him. This is how the devil does. Remember when I talked about the hovering by the Spirit? Even the devil, for him is rolling. A rolling line, they move around, just looking for trouble, looking for any loophole, looking for any chance of getting you. Run away from me, but I want to live with you. They are like really looking for any opportunity. So if this time round you just be like, let me just sleep this night, it's just one night, I'm gonna sleep at this place, where you're not supposed to be at the right time, at the wrong place. You're giving the opportunity to the devil. That's how much little time we have. We don't have even any minute, because he's like tiptoeing on our every step of life to see that any opportunity he gets. And yet for us, we are not aware of that. We are not aware that somebody is really, if you know that somebody is really eyeing you, or maybe you're driving, you see somebody in the side mirror, like really good, whenever you stop, he stops. Whenever you start fearing, you start thinking about how you're gonna make sure you make this person, you confuse them, or maybe you be like, you going to a store and then see whether they're gonna go. Like you do certain things because now you've seen them, But if you don't see them, that's why the Bible tells us watch and pray. If you don't see them, they are in that time of making sure that they put you down in any moment. You might just park for a second, just run, because you don't know who's behind you. They can just come and grab something from your car or put something in your car. So it's about us being so careful. Look, the Bible tells us they surrounded the place and lay in wait. The devil can wait for you. Somebody following you, coming after you, they can have that time. The devil has the time, The Bible says he knows he doesn't have the time. So if he's on a mission to get you, your soul is so important, because you have many behind that are going to lose their lives just because you lost your life. So the Bible says, surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night at the gate of the city. They were quiet all night, saying, in the morning when daylight we will kill him. So this means they camped over just waiting for him. And remember, this time they haven't talked to anybody that get him for us, but as soon as they knew he's in the place, that means they were following him up. That means the devil follows us step by step just to make sure. If it misses you over like one, maybe fornication, maybe you're really tight on that, you really overcame it by force, by fire. Maybe you'll be like, come through anger. And these little kids you have home are the ones that are going to make you always be angry, and when you're angry, of course, you need more spirits to come in, and then you be so rough, you be so, you start being so, envious, all the spirits come in because you just opened one spirit of anger, you just opened one spirit of maybe, just gossip, and then all the spirits, of hate start coming in. So They waited. They were quiet all night in the morning when it is daylight. And then they told to themselves, we shall. So they had that time. If we don't miss him in the night, we'll get the time during the day and kill. They are strategic. And Samson lay low till midnight. Then he rose up. So it's because Samson sensed him, he wrote. Now this is, yeah, he sensed him, but he sensed him in a wrong place. Sometimes we want to be so spiritual. These topics of addressing Christian realities. We be so spiritual and we feel like, we have the whole world and stuff. The devil is getting everything. If you don't have the Spirit of God, you don't have the Spirit of discernment, the devil is gonna trick you to certain places. It's gonna trick you to certain areas. That's why we need the Spirit. He will tell you, don't go there. Don't go. Even if you feel you're so strong about some situation, if it's not time yet, you'll be like, don't go there. Don't do certain things like this. Don't, because the devil might be trapping you from there. He rose up and took hold of the doors and gates and pulled them up, and then put in his shoulder and carried them to the top of the hill that faces. Afterwards it happened, he loved a woman in the valley. So they missed him that day, the first night. So here, because he's just moving forward, he's trusting his strength. He can carry up. He can just lift up at midnight, and carry the load and maybe kill people down. So it feels like it's gonna be the same. But you can't just be like operating into the same thing if you're really operating into sin. Sin breaks you down. Sin is gonna pull all your strength, your spiritual strength down that your eyes are not going to see. So he's just trusting his physical muscles, but in the spirit, if he would just watch, he would have just watched. He would know what's going on, what they're planning for him. But because he wasn't watching, here comes Delilah. The devil planned Delilah for him, and then he fell into the lap of this woman. And the lords of Philistines came up to her and said to her, entice him and find out his strength, where his what strength comes from. So here is the time now, in the time of your affliction. He fainted, but this time he's the one that took himself over there. So in this time, he didn't have any option. He was everything surrounded by him. He just puts himself into it, and because he's trusting his strength, he thinks it's physical, no, it's spiritual. So his eyes were not open to see that the enemies are going to get him just because of his weakness. But why? They watched him step at the place of the first woman, so they knew that that's his weakness. So they continued over and over. Just the devil's eyes watching what he's gonna do. So mind about your weakness, mind about those things that you really were doing before. That's why the Bible says, remember what you're doing before, where you came from, where you forgot the first love. Like when you transformed before, where did you come from? That means you transformed transformed from fornication, from sexual sin, from immorality. And now it's like when they tell you to remember, it's like you're trying to go back to the same works, yet you are already transformed. So Delilah said to Samson, please tell me where your great strength lies, and with what may be bound to afflict you. So here comes Delilah. You all know the story. Delilah had to speak to Samson, and then at the end of it all, like as you read down, she was able to overcome Samson. And even if Samson had he had a chance to come back, do a certain thing, like the Bible tells us here. So he told a strategy to the devil about where his strength is, everything, the story. So what I really wanted to tell us is about how the devil loops around to make sure that he causes you to fall into sin. However much Samson had the spirit of God, like he had the power and he would tear down, but the devil had already entered just through the sin that he had. So no matter the strength, the power he had, at the end of it all, it had to be used as a comedian, making him dance around the people, laughing at him, the man who was, the man that everybody knew that is, that is a man of God, is now being somebody to be, laughed at. And then that's what the enemy was looking for, just because he opened up. He did not realize what sin, like he didn't let the spirit really be open to him and be like, this is the sin.